That one, too.
I wonder if I can get the whole collection on DVD.
I think that might be a possibility.
You know what my favorite episode is?
I don't.
Kick the Can.
Now, that is a good one.
You know, when all the old people become young again.
Yes, yes. Heartbreaking, isn't it?
You know, the other episode I like is the one where...
You know what? I'd like to check in.
I'm sorry. Are you with the wedding?
No.
There's a wedding? People actually get married here?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, I'm not criticizing it. I think it's charming.
Chad Moore. More development?
Yes?
Ethan Lipton. I used to work for your company a few years ago.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, in accounting.
Yeah, sure.
Darling, we'll talk later, okay?
Okay, great.
Oh, be sure to tell the guys to show up on time tomorrow night at the rehearsal dinner. This whole weekend is going to be a continuous celebration of love.
Well, I do like love.
Well, that's why I'm in this business. Bye.
Are you getting married?
No, I'm with the band.
Oh, well, have a fun weekend of love.
You guys, too.
Do you remember that guy?
Not at all.
Hi there.
Hey, let's see, I'm checking in. The House of something?
Promise and Hope.
Promise of Chad Moore. I'm on the board.
Welcome to Schimbarea, Mr. Moore. We have you in North or Longviews. If you go out the door and to your left...
My wife has joined me unexpectedly, so could we get one of the larger rooms?
You don't have to tell him that.
Well, they weren't expecting you. You were unexpected.
Just one of the nicer rooms would be wonderful. Thank you. I'm not used to camping.
Camping. That's funny, Denise.
Let me see what I can do for you.
There's so much stuff we can do.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Where are the kids?
Huh? Oh. Ethan.
Whoa. Jack, Ethan, come over here.
Come on.
Come on! Get over
Come
here!
here, troopers. Take you and you go with your mom. Stand on my toes.
Yeah, and also something away from all the noise would be nice.
I do have a room on the first floor in the lodge building.
Yeah,
No,
something higher.
higher.
Of course, Mr. Moore. Do have a room on the second floor.
Higher than that, please.
I'm afraid that's about as high as we go here.
You're kidding. What a waste of real estate.
I think you'll like this room. It has a balcony.
All right, if you say so.
Give me a second.
Give that to your mother. Give that to your mother. You heard her. Hand it over.
I said we were gonna be unplugged this whole weekend.
Do you guys just want to go home?
No, we're not gonna go home. It's no fun. Come here. Let's stand with me. Here, jump on my feet. Jump on my feet. I'll lift you up.
There's no way we can have all these meetings with these kids running around and screaming.
Have a great stay.
Look, I don't need to be having this conversation right now. I don't have time for this. I can't deal with this right now.
We move into then the later parts of the ego, which talks about something called separation. And the ego has a very strong belief system that who I am is separate from everybody else. And then another component of the ego teaches us that I'm also separate from everything that's missing in my life, from all the things that I'd like to have. And then finally, the ego teaches us the most egregious error of all. It teaches us that we are separate from God. And one of the simple constructs that you learn in the afternoon of your life when you shift into the meaning phase of your life is to realize that you came from a source. We can call it God, we can call it Tao, it doesn't matter what we call it. And that this source is everywhere. There's no place that it is not. It must be because it creates everything. Everything comes from this source. Then it must be in me. If there's no place that it's not, it must be in me. And if it must be in me, it must also be in whatever it is that I feel to be missing from my life. If you know that, then in some way, everything that's missing from your life that you would like to have, you're already connected to it in spirit. And all you have to do is figure out a way to align yourself with that and have a knowing that you're already connected to it. You just have to bring it on its way. And the way that you think and process.
What, was that out loud?
Yeah, you just said that out loud.
Sorry.
That's okay. It is
sorry.
intense. There's no question about it. It's very intense.
Please continue.
Okay. I was saying that as we move into the afternoon of our life, we take the same ego constructs that we learned in the morning of our life, which is all about competition, winning, being better than everybody else, and we try to apply these same constructs to the afternoon of our life. And what happens is we end up living a lie. For what was true in the morning, in the evening, has become a lie. The problem is we don't really know how to move into the meaning phase of our life. This is when we have to learn to go back to those first 9 months, from the moment of our conception until the moment of our birth. Lao Tzu speaks about this in the Tao Te Ching. Let yourself be lived by it. He says that the Tao does nothing. It's leaving nothing undone. This is where we have to get to a place where we can surrender and have a knowing that we're not alone and that we're going to be guided and that we have a nature and that we can trust in this nature. It's not something that we have to always be struggling with. It's not something we have to be in charge of. Literally, think about it. Let yourself be lived by it rather than you taking over. But as we move into the meaning phase of our life, what's happening is we begin to think about fulfilling a dharma, fulfilling a destiny, fulfilling something inside of us, a calling that only we can feel inside of us. No one else can tell you what that is. But if you feel it and you know it, winning and being ahead of other people takes a back seat to feeling fulfilled and living your life on purpose.
I'm coming to get you.
No! Ethan! Don't throw sand!
Hey, we got anything to drink?
Juice box.
Sure.
I'm gonna go back and get some more sunscreen.
Really? We got clouds.
No, they can still get burned.
Okay. You gonna walk back?
Yeah, I'll be fast.
Well, we can wrap it up here.
No, look at them. They're having so much fun. I don't want to drag them away. I'll be right back.
Okay. You got some great stuff.
Well, I think it was a good start. I think it really was. I think you're going to see this thing come together in some unexpected ways. You're going to be surprised. You really are.
Directors don't like surprises.
Well, you're in for some. Great.
I'll see you in the morning.
I look forward to it. Thanks for everything. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later.
ride?
Yep.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Looks like they're reaching for each other.
Sorry?
Well, the trees, it looks just like they're reaching for each other.
Yeah, you're right, it does.
The whole place. It's like a different painting every day.
You know, you're very fortunate to work here.
I know. Hey, you want a lollipop?
Excuse me?
It's root beer. You like root beer?
Actually, I do.
It's root beer, but with a little bit of licorice.
Thank you. I like it. I like everything about this place.
Like what? What do you like about it?
I don't know, it's just, it's so beautiful. I can't describe it.
In words, yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, words versus images.
Images?
Pictures.
No, don't do that either. I used to. When I was in college, I used to drive down to the beach and I'd sketch for hours. Oh well, doesn't matter anyway.
Oh well.
Hey, Mom. Where you been?
What?
We got cold. You eating a lollipop?
I am.
Got any candy for the kids?
No, I'm sorry. Oh.
That's all right.
Let's go back.
Come on, buddy. Let's go. Yeah. All right. It's okay. Here.
I don't get it, to be honest with you.
That really doesn't surprise any of us, David.
Seriously, if I didn't have ambition, nothing would get done.
Is that supposed to be a comment about us?
You have a napkin, please.
You know what I mean. Like we're supposed to sit around and wait for things to happen to us magically.
There's nothing wrong with a little magic in life.
I can't trust magic. What I can trust is my own will to get things done. That's my main problem with what Dr. Dyer's saying.
Okay, he's right there. You want to keep it down?
He didn't hear me.
Dr. Dyer, you want to come
hi.
join us?
Sure, I'd love to. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
This chicken's great.
Good. So, Dr. Dyer,
Yes.
We were all just discussing your
Right.
first interview and all those things you said. And basically, David thinks that it's all BS.
What?
David, yes, really?
I don't think all of it is. I mean, I'm entitled to my own opinion, right?
Absolutely, you are entitled to your opinion, and I respect it. And you know, David, you don't have to get this all at once. You know, just get a little bit at a time. That's all it takes. You know, you just start practicing it. Eventually, it becomes a way of life, and you start living from a different perspective.
I'm not really a spiritual person. I'm too busy.
Yeah, spirituality is kind of like a luxury.
That is true. I find it hard to find time to meditate.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that you're an inspired person? Do you live an inspired life? Do you feel inspired?
I have no idea.
Really? Well, let's take an example. Let's supposing I had an apple pie that we had just made. And out of this apple pie, we take one slice. We take the rest of the pie, put it over here, and I take this slice and I give it to someone. Let's say I gave it to you, Ron, and I say, Ron, what is this?
That's an apple pie?
How do you know that? How do you know it's an apple pie?
Because it came from an apple pie.
So, well, you laugh, but I mean, the truth is that's a very profound statement that you just made, that everything in the universe must be like what it came from. You take an acorn and you'll never get a rose bush out of it. You look at yourself and you ask yourself the question, where did I come from? Who am I and what am I like? You know, instead of making our choices out of the place that we really are, our authentic self, we're making them out of the ego. And every time we make choices out of the ego, all kinds of things begin to happen to us that take us away from finding meaning in our lives.
How do you know if you're making a choice from your higher self?
You gauge everything on the basis of how you feel. Are you stressed out? Are you anxious? Are you fearful? Are you angry? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel like you're on purpose? Do you feel like your life has any meaning? When you're operating out of the only part of yourself that is authentic, bliss is your response.
But what about the upside of ambition? I mean, I'm a filmmaker, and if I didn't, doesn't ego serve me? I mean, if I was going with the flow, I'd never get a movie made.
That's a conclusion that you've come to because you think out of the ego. You know, the fact is that you might even be able to make much greater films if you came out of a higher place. Imagine yourself as being able to live and work and do everything that you do from this place that, well, it's called Dharma.
What's Dharma?
Dharma is a spiritual principle that implies there is a purpose to our lives. Like an otter has a dharma, a bird has a dharma. Everything has a purpose. And when you find yourself living from that purpose, you have found your dharma. Your dharma is something that you will be living by. And rather than constantly using the ego, you will begin to say, this is what I'm here for. It's like, I call it a calling. It's like an inner calling.
How do you know what your dharma is? Like, what if you can't even find your dharma?
Yeah, I can't even find a date, let alone my dharma.
Well, your dharma isn't anything you're ever going to find. Your dharma is something that you're always connected to. It is your divine purpose. It is something that you are aligned with throughout your entire life. The ego has kept us away from it.
Excuse me, I have to take this. This is what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry to interrupt. How does this help me find a date exactly?
You don't need to find a date. If you live what I'm talking about, you'll understand that everything will be perfect and everyone that comes into your life will come in on time perfectly. You're a divine creation of God. You're a spiritual being. You don't need anyone else to confirm that.
I love that.
It's true. Dr. Dyer said it was.
It is true.